an operation.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good morning. We're coming on the air with breaking news. Just moments ago, the New Mexico District Attorney released a statement announcing it will file involuntary manslaughter charges against actor Alec Baldwin over the 2021 fatal film set shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Baldwin was holding the prop gun on the New Mexico set of the Western titled Rust when the gun went off, killing Hutchinson. Miguel Almaguer has been covering this story and joins me now from New Mexico. What more can you tell us, Miguel?
Well, Lester, this decision has been a long time in the making. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office has been reviewing and investigating this case for over a year now, and the DA's office here in Santa Fe County has been looking at that investigation for over 3 months before officially making their decision today. As you know, Alec Baldwin will face involuntary manslaughter charges. So will Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. She was the prop master in charge of the weapons. Now, it does appear Dave Halls, the assistant director who handed Alec Baldwin that weapon and yelled out "cold gun," meaning it was safe to use, has struck a plea deal. He'll face probationary measures here in Santa Fe. Lester, this is a big investigation that has taken several agencies months to figure out. There was body camera footage that was sorted through. There was texts, phone calls, emails that were sorted through. The FBI ran the ballistics tests on the weapon that was used in the shooting. So it certainly has involved several agencies. This decision has been a long time coming, and now we know Alec Baldwin and the prop master, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, will face involuntary manslaughter charges, Lester.
All right, Miguel, let me ask you to stand by while I turn to Danny Savalos, an NBC News legal analyst. Danny, what is the bar here for involuntary manslaughter?
There are several different ways that the state can get to a conviction under the involuntary manslaughter statute in New Mexico, but really only two could possibly apply to Baldwin. One is a lawful act, which this was, using a gun on a film set, that is done in a criminally negligent manner. And that is a bit of a misnomer because what it really means is recklessness. It means the conscious disregard of a known risk. And the other option is use of a firearm in just a merely negligent manner, which means that the conduct fell below the applicable standard of care. And believe me, this will be a battle of the experts. You're going to have stunt experts, armor experts, movie set experts. You're going to have all kinds of firearm experts as well. So that may be the option that the state used because that mere negligence standard is so light. But as much as I believe that Baldwin would be charged, I think it's a misstep for the state to charge him because all these statutes deal with a weapon that someone knows to be a weapon. As far as Baldwin knew, he was handling a block of wood or a piece of plastic. He was assured by other people this is not a conventional gun. This may be one of the few cases in the history of firearms cases where you could reasonably say that somebody looking at something that looks exactly like a gun could reasonably believe it wasn't a gun. So I think it's very difficult for the state to get to beyond a reasonable doubt, and I anticipate this may result in an acquittal for Baldwin.
Danny, I'll ask you to stand by as well while I turn to NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett. Laura, let me ask you, does intent come into play here?
Yeah, I think it's a big question. As Danny pointed out, this is going to come to a battle of the experts. And remember, all along, Baldwin has said, I didn't even pull the trigger. His defense here hasn't been that he didn't know what was going on. His defense has been, this is not on me. He said that he pulled back the hammer, but he didn't actually pull the trigger. Now, prosecutors will push back on that. Obviously, they've been at work here for over a year since this crime took place. They've relied on a very thorough investigation from the sheriff, the local sheriff down there. There has obviously spent a lot of time investigating all the facts that they'll put together to figure out how to present this to a jury. In terms of what comes next, it'll be interesting to see a first appearance from Baldwin. What, if anything, he says there? He's not under any obligation to say anything. They're obviously not under any obligation to make a plea, but he has maintained his innocence all along. And so this is certainly a surprise that he is facing this level of charges of felony, including a firearms enhancement, which requires a mandatory 5-year sentence, as the prosecutor has laid out here, Lester.
All right, let me go back to New Mexico, and Miguel Almaguer still standing by. Miguel, first of all, what do we know? What do these charges bring in terms of potential sentence, and when will they formally be filed?
Well, Lester, we know the DA says Alec Baldwin could face up to 18 months in prison and also a $5,000 fine. Officials and some experts believe he would likely get probation, but he certainly faces serious jail time. We also expect those charges to officially be charged in the coming days. And Lester, a key point here that has not yet been answered was how live ammunition ended up on that movie set in the first place. That was a major question during the process of this investigation. We still don't know the answer to that question, though we do obviously know that live ammunition ended up on a movie set when it should have never been there, Lester.
And probably not as important a question, but just a point of curiosity, will they resume filming of the movie?
Yeah, Lester, at this point, we've been told that as of this month, the movie is set to continue to resume with Alec Baldwin in it. Helena Hutchins, the woman, the director who was killed, her husband is now an executive producer on that film. From all of our understandings, the movie will continue. They plan to shoot that movie and wrap it and finish it sometime this year, Lester.
All right, Miguel Almaguer in New Mexico for us. Thank you. That concludes our special report. We'll have much more on this breaking news on NBC News Daily this afternoon and, of course, on Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. Thank you for joining us. Good day.